So Douglas Luiz is as good as done. Welcome to your Forest transfer news. Afternoon everybody, hope you're doing well and welcome to your latest Forest transfer news. Coming up, we'll talk you through the details on Douglas Luiz. I'll give you an update on the here we go of Kalimuendo, and I'll tell you about a player who looks very likely to leave now from the City ground. So if you're enjoying the content, sit back, relax, but before you do, make sure you've hit the like button. Let's get it to like 842 likes. Make sure you subscribe because we're very close to 30k. Thank you all for all your support. And let's get into the news, and this really does excite me. This Douglas Luiz saga, look, I'll be honest with you guys, it's dragged on. Like, we were first linked with him back in January, didn't want us, wanted us. And now again this summer, it's been on, off, and well, not really off, but back and forth would be the correct terminology. And I think Marinakis got a bit fed up of it. So yesterday, he spoke to his guys. He's like, where's Douglas Luiz? I don't see him in a red top. And they were like, yeah, we still haven't sorted out the finer details, blah, blah, blah. Pass me the phone. He took the phone, he made a call, and a few minutes later, at the end of the day, we always win. So I want to talk you through some reports to kind of break down what happened yesterday. But I then want to tell you about some details on some things that are very smart by Forest on this deal. So let's jump into this report and I'll quickly run you guys through it. So these are the reports coming out from Italy. As I always say, take them with a little bit of a pinch of salt. But I've seen it from so many sources and things like that. It's looking good right now. So it says reports in Italy indicate that Douglas Luiz is all set to join Forest from Juventus after a phone call between Marinakis and Damian Kamali on Monday night, despite the head coach Igor's final attempt to get a tune out of the former Aston Villa star. Forest increasingly destined to sign Douglas Luiz from Juventus, and according to reports from Toto Sport, a direct phone call between Marinakis and Juventus general owner unlocked negotiations between the two clubs. The old lady have been looking to sell Douglas Luiz just a year on from his €50 million signing from Aston Villa last summer, and have been pushing for a fee closer to the 40 million mark in order to avoid making a capital loss on the 27-year-old. That's a bit I need to talk to you guys about. Douglas Luiz, blah, blah, blah. Tuesday's reports indicate that Douglas Luiz is increasingly destined to join Forest for a fee of just over €30 million, which is fantastic business, which will consist of a loan and an option to buy, which will become an obligation under easily achievable circumstances. This is despite Tudor's final attempt to get a tune out of the Brazilian. The Juventus head coach tried to deploy Luiz in a more advanced role, closer to the centre forward in a pre-season friendly against next generation side. And despite finding the net, because he did score in that game, the claim still is that there was never really a concrete chance that he would stay with the old lady heading into the new season. So a lot of stuff we need to talk about. Firstly, I want to start with this fee, because Juventus wanted €40 million. And there was reports out yesterday, which I don't believe, that was saying the talks have now changed to a permanent deal rather than a loan deal. That for me is not true, because what I've seen as well, and a few guys I've spoken to, is that Juventus will 100% want this to be a loan deal. And with Forest pushing more towards the €30 million mark, which is 10 million under what Juventus want to do, this brings PSR into it. And what the plan here is with the deal is that because we have him for an extra year on loan, that means that's an extra year off the PSR books for Juventus. So, for example, let's just say they paid €50 million, right? So that's 10 million a year that has to go on the books for the PSR numbers, whatever they are in Italy, okay? Now, if Forest were to take him now as a permanent deal, Juventus would have to make 40 million to break even on him. And that's the key bit. With the loan, Forest can say to Juventus, okay, if we loan him for a year, we'll give you some easy targets to turn this into an obligation. Next year, his book value is 30 million. And that's exactly why Forest are talking in and around 30 million. Now, I expect this deal to probably either be for like 33 million euros or 30 million euros obligation with maybe 2, 3, 4 million up front in a loan fee. And it makes perfect sense. And Forest are playing a blinder on this one. Hopefully that makes sense, right? So basically, let's dumb it down even more. Juventus had to break even, need 40 million euros today. Next season, this time next year, they need 30 million euros to break even. This is why loan is ideal for both sides. Forest will save themselves 10 million in negotiations. That's why I think it's going to happen. That's why I'm certain it's going to happen, in fact. And that's why there are more reports saying this is done in Italy, right? So I'm very optimistic and excited about this one. We'll do a whole video once he's through the door, once he's wearing the shirt and everything else, on how the hell he fits in, because that's going to be a fun discussion to have with you guys. But right now, as things stand, we're looking at 30 million euros, give or take, plus or minus, say 2 million. It won't be minus, it'll be like plus, say 2 million. And this is a fantastic deal. Are you guys excited? Does that all make sense? Let me know in the comments down below. And Kalimuendo is a red. What a fantastic signing. This slowly is turning into a really good transfer window for Forest. I have to say, I was really frustrated with the start of it. And with Kalimuendo coming in, with potentially Douglas Luiz coming in, this transfer window has gone from like a 3 out of 10. I'm now at like a 7, maybe 7.5 out of 10, because we still need fullbacks and other stuff. But give me your rating out of 10 currently as things stand on this transfer window. And just to emphasize it even further, Forest are now the 6th highest spenders in this transfer window in the Premier League. We are the highest spenders outside of the Cartel 6. In terms of what we spent 147 million pounds. But Forest have also recouped 102 million pounds in sales as well. So our net is about 46, 47, give or take, about that. And that is fantastic business. And this is why Forest are looking like a very serious club. But more than Spurs, I know they might be getting Eze. They might even be getting that Cluj. Anyway, we spent more than Newcastle and all those other clubs. And even the clubs that above us, you got Liverpool, Chelsea, Man United, Arsenal. Man United haven't sold anyone. They've just spent 200 million, which makes you question how balanced this Premier League is. But anyway, back to Kalimuendo. He's done, he's dusted. He will be available for Sunday against Crystal Palace. Whether or not he starts, I'd be surprised because Wood's come off 2 goals. But this guy, guys, baller. We'll do a full breakdown of him. I'll give you every detail about him. I'll get you guys all excited about him because this one, so far, out of all the ones that have come through, this one's excited me the most, as in the ones that have signed. Now, because he's come in, this is potentially paving the way for an exit. And who is that exit? It's Jota Silva. There's been heavy interest from Jota Silva from Sporting all summer long. And Forest have said, we're not loaning him out to you. You want him? Show me the money. We want about 15 million for him. Sporting have backed off. Obviously, at Sporting now is his ex-manager, really keen on getting Jota Silva back there. But the belief now is that because Kalimuendo has come in, Jota Silva can go. It's like 1 in, 1 out in terms of that aspect. I'm all up for it, by the way, because if he goes, I think we replace with another winger anyway. I actually still think we need maybe 2 more wingers. Anyway, well, that's a whole other discussion. So the expectation now is that the conversations are about to heat up between the 2 clubs. Forest want to hold out for a permanent deal. Sporting want to make it a loan with an option. Now, could they meet somewhere in the middle, loan with an obligation? That's a possibility. But right now, I think Forest hold the cards on this. We don't need to sell anyone. This wouldn't, even if we did, this isn't going to move the needle that much. But I can see him exiting. I think Jota Silva is happy to stay and happy to go, if that makes sense. So he's not putting up a fuss about wanting to leave or anything like that. But exciting news, Douglas Luiz on his way in. As soon as it happens, we're going live. Make sure you've hit the like button. Make sure you've subscribed. We'll see you on the next video. Come on, you Reds.